Welcome to the very first episode of Ricans of Wrestling. I'm Jose.
I'm Rico.
And we're going to recap tonight's results of the 2016 Royal Rumble. Man, that was an awesome Rumble, bro.
Bro, but real quick, before we get into that, though, we want to make sure we let them know.
Spoiler alert! All right, guys, so if you didn't watch tonight's Royal Rumble, go to WWE Network, watch the recap, because we are going to spoil the whole thing.
And you guys missed out on a great pay-per-view.
It was amazing. It was, you know what? They really redeemed themselves for 2 years of crappy Rumbles.
Bro, they had to, considering that the last two winners got booed out of the arena. No, well, we saw it coming, but you picked it, though. You were right about it.
I called Triple H. Triple H, ladies and gentlemen, Triple H, the cerebral assassin, is the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I'm excited about it.
I didn't want to admit it, but it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
I mean, I think it's a good move. I'm glad they didn't do the whole Brock Lesnar, put him over the top. I like that they brought him in. They had him clean house with the Wyatts. Mm-hmm. That was good. What I was really surprised about that Final Four, though.
So if, in case, again, spoiler alert, if you hadn't seen it, the last four that were left in the Royal Rumble match were Sheamus, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Triple H. Dean Ambrose.
You know, I did not have Dean Ambrose picked to be in that Final Four.
Not even close. I didn't think he was going to last.
So what does this mean for Ambrose? Does this mean a harder push for him?
I think that puts him on that top tier status. Like, all right, he's got the IC title. He defended it. He's good. But it showed that he can hang with the big boys. He can hang with the Triple H. He can hang with Roman Reigns. Not just be his boy.
Yeah.
But hang in a match with him.
Does that set up a possible heel turn?
I hope so.
I think they really should utilize Dean Ambrose as a heel. I think he's already beaten Kevin Owens, who is considered one of the top heels besides Bray Wyatt. Mm-hmm. He should be heel now.
Which I think they will once, especially if they start bringing in some of this talent from NXT.
Yeah.
We saw some previews today, which we got some more bombs to drop later on.
Yeah, we'll go over that in a little bit.
We haven't got there. Let's not jump the gun.
Now, with tonight's result, we're also going to be discussing a little bit about the potential storylines WWE can go with this. Mm-hmm. You know, we got a new U.S. champ, Kalisto.
That's right.
Tag teams retain, New Day.
Yep.
By the way, Royal Rumble was in Orlando, and this is being filmed in Orlando. Our crowd did not disappoint.
Bro, such a smart crowd.
We're
smart crowd.
We're definitely a smart crowd, and we did not disappoint. Go Orlando.
Wow.
And then finally, one thing I wanted to do. Hold on. Finally! We're going to go over some, previous Royal Rumble entrants that kind of faded into the background. Some people will be like, damn, I remember that guy. So we're going to be talking about a little bit more about that later. But Ep.1. Back to the Rumble. So who was the big name that came into the Rumble?
Oh. So there was rumors this whole week about a former TNA superstar. Mm-hmm. TNA also being filmed here in Orlando,
which is kind of like a big fuck you,
right,
to TNA. Because, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Styles debuted at number 3 today.
Number 3, the phenomenal.
And he was in there,
AJ Styles.
26 minutes?
He was in there for a really long time.
About half an hour. He put on a good show, although it was botch Rumble today, though. God. Dude, there was, oh my God, so many matches with so many botches in there. It was entertaining. And it was funny because AJ Styles never worked with any of these guys before.
No.
And you could see that he was trying to get used to it, but he did put on a good show.
He did.
He lasted a while.
It's like, it was like improv night for him kind of thing. Like, here's 29, supposedly other guys that you haven't wrestled before.
Yeah.
But, just be in the ring with them, feel them out, and go along with the moves. Even though I wanted to see if he would hit the Styles Clash. He never hit the Styles Clash. They keep trying.
But that Styles Clash is kind of... it's anticlimactic.
It is, but the fact that he set it up so many times and stopped every reason.
It's kind of like when Rhino came back from NXT, and then he came back for that small little ECW reunion and never executed his gore. He never got one gore.
No more.
God.
No more gore.
Match of the night. I gotta say, last man standing match.
Oh, hands down. Oh, hands down. That if anything had like the least amount of matches, but it had so many spots. Not to mention, I think it was, other than the Royal Rumble, the longest match.
I thought it was great. I'm a huge Kevin Owens fan.
Yeah, you are.
Huge Kevin Owens fan. And I think this could possibly set up Kevin Owens for something even bigger. I think potentially Owens Lesnar, Owens Undertaker. What do you think?
Right now, it kind of sets up this the whole way that the Royal Rumble went down. It pretty much sets up Brock versus the Wyatt family. I can see that happening in.
You're talking about a 4-on-1?
Yeah.
But you saw the family take out Lesnar with ease. I mean, I don't really doesn't
All
make
in the
any
ring at the
sense.
same time, but not an official tag match. Or even if they went to like an elimination match, like 1-on-4 elimination, where he had to eliminate each one of them. Because at that point, you make Brock look inhumanly strong. Like, you need 4 people to take him out. You can't have just one guy. You need 4 people to do it.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Bray can finally have his WrestleMania win, even though it's with somebody else. But he can finally win after he lost the last 2.
But you know what? I was kind of disappointed I didn't get to see that encounter between Lesnar and Reigns.
Yeah.
Because he got eliminated, then Reigns came out of nowhere, recuperated from after being, belly flopped onto a table.
Oh, Rusev.
He got belly flopped on a table, which I thought...
Get him.
It's funny because you saw Rusev bouncing off that table and back into...
That was a belly flop. That's like what you do at your pool at home. That was a freaking belly flop. That's all that was.
So Reigns got sent down and he came back in. Yeah. But you know what? I have to give props because they utilized McMahon well. They utilized Triple H well. And ladies, we got a new champ, and I called it. I'm
14-time.
14-time, one shy from tying Ric Flair along with John Cena.
Man.
What do you thought about the Divas match?
I'm a big fan of Becky Lynch.
She's hot, dude.
Yeah.
And that redheaded, she is hot. The last kicker. Or maybe the ass licker. Which one is it?
You know what?
Vice versa.
It could go either way. I don't know.
All right.
But there was a surprise at the end of that match, though. The return.
Sasha Banks. She came back. So what does this mean? Does that put her as a contender for the Divas Championship?
Oh, yeah.
You did say something earlier tonight that they need to revamp the title. You're right.
It was cute when it first came out.
That
when it was
butterfly Divas. And bedazzled.
I just think...
No.
Which I was just thinking about earlier. Like, I love the direction they're going in with the Divas because it's not about them being valets anymore. Mm-hmm. It's about their talent in the ring. And they are showing it off. They are holding down matches like this. Like in the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, they're holding down a match right before
the main event.
Yeah. So they were holding it down.
That says a lot about them, though.
Yeah, so I think they deserve a title that's more fitting of them. Not something that's all frou-frou, look pretty for the camera. This isn't, total divas kind of thing. No, they're women wrestlers. Bring back the women's championship, bro.
Yeah.
Bring back the women's
title. Bring back the women's title.
Something strong, but, a little feminine, but not a butterfly.
Butterflies. No, I can't deal with that. No, but you're right. They should change that championship. And I think Sasha Banks will be the chosen one for the Divas division.
We want Sasha.
We want Sasha.
I want Sasha.
That Banks statement is pretty amazing.
Want something else, but all right.
So what do you think about this storyline now? So now that Triple H has won, what happens from now to Fastlane to WrestleMania?
That's where everything's got to be set up, obviously. So what I'm thinking, you still have to have a number one contenders match. It's not, you can't automatically assume it's going to be Roman Reigns, even though we know that's kind of like where they want to go with it. So I would not be surprised to see, what if they do Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns for the number one contendership?
That's a possibility, but do you still keep Sheamus in play? I don't think so. I think they really should concentrate on this whole League of Nations thing. They think, McMahon put these guys together, and I think they should really concentrate on making this faction strong. They don't look strong.
They don't.
And I don't know if putting Sheamus in that WWE title mentality or in that contendership makes any sense for him right now. I think a good way to go would be Ambrose. Bray Wyatt, absolutely. Kevin Owens, man. I'm telling you.
But that's what I'm thinking. I feel like it's going into Fastlane if Brock is scheduled to fight, because I don't know if his contract actually includes Fastlane, because we know it includes like the major main events, major pay-per-views like SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. If he is scheduled for Fastlane, I would not be surprised to see like say him versus Bray, and that's when the other Wyatts interfere, and that's when he's like, you know what, if you guys are going to keep doing this, I want all you guys in one match, so that way you can actually focus on Roman Reigns with somebody else. And just given that performance, dude, give it to Ambrose. Use that. Let that be that heel turn. Whether it's, you know, putting one over the other. If you want to just go ahead and flip the switch and put Ambrose in there instead of Reigns for somebody else.
Well, there's a lot that can happen between now and WrestleMania. But from now to Fastlane, we got to think about...
There's only 4 weeks.
We got 4 weeks to kind of figure out what's going on with this storyline. So do we put Roman Reigns back in the contendership? Do we bring Ambrose into the contendership? He'll be the only other person that's been... Who was the other? There was Ultimate Warrior, by the way. Bam. Intercontinental Champion and WWE Champion. Mm-hmm. Trips. He was one, wasn't he?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was. I can't remember.
But there's not a whole lot of IC WWE, dual title holders. Yeah. So it'll be interesting if Ambrose can be in that elite group, or if you start bringing Kevin Owens now, you also have to start thinking about Undertaker. Mm-hmm. What do you do with Undertaker? Do you put him against Owens? You don't want to see him against Lesnar again.
No, you can't do that. You cannot do that.
Do you start something with Kevin Owens? Do you use someone from the Wyatt family?
I wouldn't do Wyatt just because they tried to do it once. They did the whole like Bray, even though it was Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker. I wouldn't go that direction. But we still don't know when people are going to return, because we still have those question marks out there.
Yeah.
Of when is a certain former WWE champion going to come back too? Just imagine not having that match. Like we had the CM Punk versus Undertaker. What about
CM Punk?
Seth Rollins?
CM Punk, we miss you, bro.
Dude.
What do we do about that? I mean, so as a fan, I think, dude, Kevin Owens and Undertaker.
That's the way I would go. Just because it would be such a good push for him with that big name. Like you can...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he beat John Cena, but you can automatically put him into like that hierarchy in the top.
John
the top
Cena.
Team. Yeah. But supposedly he was supposed to fight The Undertaker, but now
that would have been a match I would have loved to watch. I mean, people can talk shit about Cena. Cena, I'm not... Let me say this correctly. I like and don't like Cena. Yeah. I like Cena because he can carry a match pretty well with his 5 moves of doom. I missed that springboard stunner, by the way. I like Cena. He can put a good match together, and I think bringing someone as legendary, someone like John Cena that is almost unbeatable. He's like Superman against the dead man. I think that'll bring something really special to the table for WrestleMania. Now with Cena being out, I just don't see anybody else who can really handle Undertaker but Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
I mean, and then from Undertaker, if he defeats, which I doubt, but do you go to Brock Lesnar after that?
For Kevin Owens?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Easily. That's... If it wasn't for this whole twist that they just threw with the Wyatts, like we didn't really see that coming at the end of the highlight reel.
It's like you said, it's like the little tease,
Right.
It's like you go in, you tease a little bit, it's like, no, we're not going to give that to you.
It's just a tip.
We're not going to give that to you.
Hold on. Yeah, I mean, again, we were just talking about it earlier. I think Kevin Owens is going to be that next standard bearer for the WWE going forward. Maybe not this year yet, but he's getting to that point where so much can be built around him, his history, his presence, his future, that people are going to have to go through Kevin Owens to be the next person. Just the same way that they do with John Cena now.
I kind of see that happening with Seth Rollins. When Seth Rollins comes back, and that's another thing you got to think about.
Man.
It's already been 3 months since Rollins has been out with his knee injury.
Seth Rollins, Undertaker.
Seth Rollins, Undertaker. That would be an amazing match. I would fucking love that.
So that might be the other wrinkle in the plan, though. That might be at Fastlane, where everything switches gears again. If they have this whole I'm pretty sure they have a plan B through Z.
But do you if they bring back Rollins sooner, before WrestleMania? Do you bring him back as part of the Authority? Do you bring him back as baby? Do you change his look? What do you do with him?
And that's what I'm saying. It depends on where they're at Fastlane. If they know that they're gonna have him back for WrestleMania, then it can change everything. Then imagine if they did do the heel turn for Ambrose and he won the title, or if they finally brought in Kevin Owens.
Everybody's been begging for this damn heel turn.
What if they brought in Kevin Owens to the League of Nations, representing Canada, but winning the WWE Championship?
True. By the way, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens' music is recycled. You know that, right?
It sounded very familiar.
It's all right. So if any of you guys get a chance, look up Chris Benoit's entrance theme, and then right afterwards, listen to Kevin Owens' fight song, and they're very similar. It's crazy. Just like Ernest the Cat Williams.
Miller.
Cat Williams.
Ernest the Cat Miller.
Yeah, Ernest the Cat Miller. He has the same entrance music as Brodus Clay the Funkasaurus. Or Brodus Clay had the same entrance music. So they recycled that shit. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't surprise me. They're recycling storylines.
Everything's cyclical, man. They see what worked in the past, try to do it again and change it for the kids of this generation.
Ah, man.
But dude, we didn't even go over the results for the rest of the match. We can go a quick overview because the Royal Rumble was just such a.
It was good. It was very good. I think the way everything was booked, it was booked properly.
The way the pay-per-view was, we had all these little appetizers, really delicious appetizers. We had an amazing main course with the Royal Rumble, and the dessert at the very end was just to die.
Triple H, it was great. It was one of the best pay-per-views I haven't seen in a while. Just because, and that's why I like about Rumble. Sometimes Rumbles can be so unpredictable. And even though I kind of knew that Triple H was going to win, it was just the anticipation of him coming back and making his in-ring return. It's been over a year, for God's sakes.
And the fact that they eliminated people in such a non-predictable order, especially with the very end, having Roman Reigns eliminated before the final two was was amazing. But just a quick rundown, real quick of the show. For the pre-show match, we actually had a fatal 4-way tag team match for entrance into the Royal Rumble.
I thought that was just a waste of. It's filler time.
It was. They were piecing teams together. You had the Dudley Boys and the Ascension. Those were established tag teams, which people don't really care about.
By the way, guys, if you guys never checked Unfazed, check out the koozies Unfazed. We got the unfazedsports.com. These guys are going to be our sponsors for Ricans of Wrestling YouTube and podcast show.
Weba.
All right. What else?
So with the tag team match, it was Mark Henry and Jack Swagger. They just threw together. Damien Sandow finally came back, not as the Mizdow, but as Damien Sandow, as Jose signed here.
The elbow of disdain.
Oh, so nice to see that back. And he was teamed up with Darren Young. So surprise, surprise, Mark Henry and Jack Swagger won. Yeah, and they both got they both got eliminated really quickly.
I would have loved to seen Sandow in the Rumble.
It just with the added baggage of Darren Young.
What if Sandow did what Mick Foley did, and he comes in as Mizdow, comes as Sandow,
comes in all his different forms.
Remember when he did Lil Wayne version of Lil Mizdow or whatever?
Every time he just started fighting off of people, just have him.
But he should do that. He should come in the Rumble and come in as his 5 different personas, just outdo Mick Foley.
They didn't put that stat in the whole package. They didn't put the fact that Mick Foley came in as 3 people. Have somebody try to surpass that. But as we were saying, to open up the show, it was the IC title match, the last man standing match, the match of the night.
Last man, that was a good match, man.
Dean Ambrose,
Ambrose and Kevin Owens. I still can't believe. I'm always, how vocal I am about Kevin Owens, but he just keeps surprising me. This guy is so agile. He can do. I just have no words for this guy. He has the total package. Just like you said, he is going to be the standard bearer.
And he's just so much more relatable because he is not this.
He's not. Yeah, no.
Chiseled, like 6-pack.
Yeah, no. He's a regular guy.
He's our size.
He's 6 feet tall, 260, 265. Dude.
He gives us hope.
Yeah.
We can be wrestlers.
Yeah, we can be wrestlers, But that was a really good match.
Yeah. Right after that was the tag team title match featuring the New Day.
Oh, yeah, boy. Clap your hands.
Orlando is a huge New Day fan. That was amazing.
They are, yeah. Orlando is a huge New Day town. I have no idea why, but you know what? I love it.
New
Day rocks. New Day rocks. New Day rocks.
And return of Francesca.
By the way,
Francesca 2.
Quick shout out to my boy Chris Peck. Chris Peck was at the Royal Rumble tonight. This is for you, buddy. We miss you. You guys will see him on the next episode of Ricans of Wrestling featuring Chris Peck, because he's not Rican, but he's an honorary Rican because he's part of our crew. Yeah. Anyways, we were talking. Oh, you were going over some more results. What else we got?
We already talked about the Well, we kind of went over the Divas match, but before that was the U.S. title match where Alberto Del Rio versus Kalisto. Bro.
I like Kalisto.
Bro.
I'm really happy he got that U.S. title.
Rey Mysterio III.
Rey Mysterio III. Yeah, he is Rey Mysterio incarnated.
It was nice to see. I mean, that had a few botches in it.
It did. But I think Kalisto deserves it. With Sin Cara out, how else do you use him?
And it sets a nice place to try to build other people around it too. Like you can have Del Rio go back to League of Nations. Let that, like you're saying, build that faction up. Like make them strong.
I'd like to see Del Rio go against Ambrose in an intercontinental title. That would be a good match. That would be a good feud to have.
That way you can again use it the belts the way they're supposed to be used. Like this, it's the US, Intercontinental, WWE. You can use that as a building block, especially with the possible new talent coming over.
Exactly.
I mean, bring back the open challenge would be nice, but and then
bring back Papa Changa.
Oh, jeez. And then after that, it was the Divas title, which Charlotte retained.
Yep.
She went over on Becky Lynch, but we had Sasha Banks. It looked like they were going to be like tag team for a little bit. It looked like they were on the same page, and so we're like, wait, like, all right, when's it happening?
Listen, and
there it is.
Sasha Banks is all about that unity. That is the worst female stable. Team Bad. It's like they took 3 random women and just put them together just because they're of color, which I think is horrible. And they're trying to be like the female version of the New Day. No.
That's what they're trying to find. They're trying to find, like, the New Day was just so natural when they're together and they're just themselves having fun.
Sasha just needs to be by herself.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah.
She doesn't need anybody else.
No, absolutely not.
She was handling her own when she was in NXT.
All right. So, with the next 3 months going into WrestleMania, Fastlane and WrestleMania, where do you see this going? We talked a little bit more about some of the matches that we could potentially see in Fastlane.
So, but dream booking, bro. If you had full control of WWE Creative, what would you do right now to build Fastlane into WrestleMania? I just want to see, like, if you had full reign, no matter, you can bring anybody back, you can push people forward. What would you do?
Wow. If I was Vince McMahon.
If you were Vince McMahon, you build Braun Strowman to beat everybody.
Fuck no. With Trips holding the title right now, you know what? I'd love to see one more Rockin' Trips. I'd love to see. I mean, Monday Night Raw is going to be in Miami tomorrow or tonight when you guys see this. what a better way to bring back The Rock? Surprise! Don't advertise this shit, please, because that's what always messes up these ratings.
They couldn't help themselves.
You know, they find out John Cena's is back and ready to go. Oh, next week John Cena. No, don't advertise it. Let them surprise and let the crowd go crazy.
Make them want to watch.
Yes,
you never know what could happen.
You know,
not watch it because this is
like
gonna
when
happen.
the Dudleys came back. I was losing it for like 20 minutes, bro. It was awesome. But if you bring back The Rock and have The Rock versus Trips, you know, one more time for the title, that'd be awesome. I mean, I wouldn't give it to The Rock because The Rock got better things to do. The guy's worth $1.4 billion. But just to have that real nostalgic moment, I think that'd be great. Now, if we're really talking serious,
yes. What's more than likely gonna happen?
Dream booking with the current roster. I honestly would like to see Rollins and Trips go at it if Rollins is back. But if not, I'd like to see. I do want to see Reigns and Trips. I'd like to see that match. I think that'll be a very good match, and I think it'll be a good way to put Reigns over as the top guy. Who else to do it over than Triple H? You know, Triple H is the sign of the authority. He's the COO of the company. Yeah. It's like reaching that last level at the video game and you finally beat him. The only difference is that, you know, Reigns just handed it to him.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, that's kind of what it's all been leading to. It's better this way than as opposed to recycling what they did with Daniel Bryan. Like, say, Roman Reigns has to beat Triple H in order to face like Brock Lesnar for the title at WrestleMania. Have like 2 matches and one again. That'd just be.
What about your dream booking?
Obviously, I would love to see The Rock back. Shout out to The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson, holla at us, boy.
Right. Anytime you want to be on the show.
Ricans of Wrestling.
So
hook us up. Come to the show. Make a trip to Orlando.
Wow.
You can come to our tiny ass kitchen where we're actually recording and filming this. We'll get better. And you know what? Hey, you never know. Maybe you'll have Dwayne The Rock Johnson sit in here between us and towering over us.
We just wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to say anything. I would just be like,
yeah.
I would just feel the $1.4 billion.
Yeah,
oozing out. Just being
that would be awesome, man. That would be awesome. Just having him on my show.
That's my dream booking.
I met him twice when I was younger. When I lived in Miami, I met him twice. I met him one time at Porky Jim's. He still had a lot of hair. And then I met him at the Falls. And he was buying one of his Versace shirts that he had for a persona. All right, guys. So that is the conclusion of the very first episode of Ricans of Wrestling. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Facebook's going to be Ricans of Wrestling. Also, click on the link on below to subscribe to us. Let us know how you like the video. What would you like to see on our upcoming episodes? We're going to try to be doing this on a weekly basis. Recap Raw,
Reviews.
Pay-per-views, talk about things, theories. Send us what you guys would like to see. Click on the link below. Again, hit the subscribe button. I'm Jose.
And I'm Rico.
We'll see you next time on Ricans of Wrestling.
Fuera. Sorry, I just want to have something. We do everything.
Fuera.
Y fuera.